I don't want to participate in any type of war. I don't understand why men and women want war and they still want to hook up. It's kind of weird. Because so often I've seen that there's programming and conditioning going on that does not represent the man being lifted up. It's more so tearing down. And women, we don't even realize that the conditioning is going on. Is honesty a disadvantage in this space? Because that's how I'm coming. I'm coming with honesty. There makes no sense for us to bring the woman up, and then there's still women out here that are dogging and belittling our men. So we got to get the message that we got to come up together because we're for each other. Y'all do understand that, don't you? I'm trying to share with these women how to be better women, how to prepare themselves to be wives. I'm giving them what I call tools in order to walk out there daily. She don't advocate for us. No, that's not true. I very much do. I want you to have all the information and a good woman. All the information and a good woman, because I want you all men to be leaders.
Do you think most women can really deal with what it comes with a man that truly is having the trajectory of like a high level success? What's your thoughts on that, SB?
For me, I build with my husband. I think my husband is very successful now, but we build together. Going in the front door, we build together. And I still think that's the way to do it. Mm-hmm. To me, that's an actual ultimate test. You have a woman, this is a little bit off, but if you have a woman and y'all having a conversation and you're thinking about being married, ask that woman, are you interested in having one pot? Mm. Would you put all your money in one pot with me? Is this something we can do? And that right there, that'll answer all your questions. Yep. You know, that'll give you, does she trust you? Does she like you? Is she willing to build with you? That answers the total question right there. Mm-hmm. But I just think I think we all need to be reminded of what marriage is. Mm-hmm. So even if that man is super successful and is on that journey, has not achieved it yet, once he alters that journey and decides he wants a wife, which some of them do, because a lot of them say, hey, look, I got to get her now, because when I get successful, I'm not going to be able to trust anybody. I ain't going to know what she wants. Yeah. They need to figure out how to incorporate that woman into that plan that they had for themselves before. And it is always a way, because she is your wife. You all should be on one accord and have that same plan. You have to figure out how to put her in there. Right. So it can work, but she still has to know how to play that role, but you have to be the one to give it to her. SB.
Dearly beloved.
How y'all doing tonight? I hope y'all doing well. It's Tuesday. It sounds so much better when I say Wednesday, but y'all, today is Tuesday. I am here with you all. Okay, y'all listen. Give me a slight bit of grace. It's 7:30 instead of 7 o'clock. That was Mr. Bowser's fault. It had nothing to do with me. So anyway, y'all, that's how it went down. So if anybody asked, it was on him and not me. I wanted to be here with y'all 30 minutes ago, but some circumstances delayed me a little bit. But I'm here now. I hope you all are having a terrific Tuesday. I've had a very busy Tuesday, but I'm here with y'all now, my family. I got an announcement I'm going to make with y'all later on, and only because I know y'all can keep a secret that I'm going to tell y'all about it. I know ain't nobody watching, and y'all keep good secrets because y'all SB Nation. So I'm going to share something with y'all a little later on in the show. So I can't wait to tell you guys. It hasn't been totally confirmed, but it's brewing very hot. Like, y'all know what I mean? It's about to boil over. So I'm going to hold on to it for just a little bit longer. But before I go, I'm going to let y'all in on it because I know y'all my people and y'all can keep a secret. And, y'all ain't going to tell nobody, right? So anyway, tonight, is marriage fair in 2023? I've been sitting around thinking about this thing, fair. We're going to have to figure out what fair actually means. And all this other extra stuff, because I'm wondering myself, is it fair? Is life fair? Can it actually be fair considering individuals have the right to make their own personal choices? So can it even be fair? I mean, is that expectation way too high? Oh, I don't know, y'all. I want to hear from y'all too. But anyway, tonight we're talking about, is marriage fair in 2023? Because we ain't got but a few more days left. And going into 2024, we want to do some different things. This is a solution-based show. I'm going to be giving some, whether you take it and use it or not. So, whether it's fair or not, we're going to have something to add to it that you might can add to your life in 2024. And then we can, ask that question again around mid 2024 and be like, is it really fair? And then we'll, come up with a good answer. Who knows? But anyway, I hope everybody's doing good. I had a good day today. But before we get started, y'all know I got to say hey to my people. I got to definitely shout out Instagram. Thank you guys so much for your engagement. If this is your first time here and you managed to find SBU Live, I need for you to, of course, give me a thumbs up as you come into the channel, right? Coming into the live, I need you to give me a thumbs up. I also need you to subscribe to the channel. And I need you to turn that alert bell on. I know that it's 3 things and I was asking a whole lot, but that's just how it is over here in the YouTube world. That was a whole lot I asked for. It didn't cost anything, but it did take a little bit of your time. But I'm going to say it again. First time here, make sure you give me the thumbs up as you're coming into the live. Now, you haven't heard me say anything yet, but just give me a thumbs up for being here. I mean, can you do that? Also, subscribe to the channel. We want you all to be a part of SB Nation. And then you turn those alerts on so you can be here with me whenever I go live. And hopefully one day you can play a part in my lives because you guys have very, very good engagement over on Instagram. I appreciate you so much. Same for you all on TikTok. If this is your first time here, you found SBU Live. All that stuff I just said a minute ago. Do I need to say it again? I'm going to say it again just for those in the back that didn't hear me. I need you all to thumbs up, subscribe, click alert, and thank you so much for being here. And my Facebook family, y'all move a little slow. Does that mean something? Does that mean? Is Facebook truly really the little older group? Could that really be it? Because we do move a little slower over on Facebook. I'm just saying. I just noticed. But even with you all, thumbs up, right? Alerts on, subscribe to the channel. Thank y'all so much. Those were 3 things I needed to tell y'all to do.
Dearly beloved.
All right. So I have another announcement. This announcement is, I Choose You is on the way back. Y'all already know it. I Choose You. What, how the song go? I don't forgot. Anyway, I Choose You is on the way back. 40 and over, though. This is the real grown and sexy group, right? I'm looking for bachelors and bachelorettes. If you're interested or know someone that is interested or that you think should be interested, send me an email. I need y'all to go to sbshow
gmail.com. Again, y'all, I choose you, right? Y'all remember I choose you, right? This is going to be the 40 and over group. Real grown and sexy. Y'all know how we do it. Yeah. Go on over to sbshow2020 at gmail.com. All right, y'all. I hope I got that all out. I got one more announcement that I have for you all, but I'm not going to, I'm just going to, y'all going to have to stay with me and just, learn about that one a little later on in the show, right? So we're going to have a deal. Y'all just stay in here with me and we'll learn about that one a little later. I appreciate y'all so much. But before I get started on today's show, Is Marriage Fair in 2023? I want to say hello to a couple of people, and we're going to go from there. So let's see. Miss M, what's going on? Hey, y'all, don't forget, podcast begins at 7:30. Miss M, I love you. I love you for all your support and everything that you do. Thank you so very much. Mr. Gilbert, what's up? It's good to see you. JG, what's going on, JG? I hope everything is good. Miss Married, Relentless, and Satisfied. Hello, ma'am. How are you? Miss Renata, what's going on? What is this? Cadillac? Catil. Yeah. Cadillac? I know I'm saying that wrong, but I'm giving you the thumbs up because I like it. It's good to see you, and thanks so much for being here. Travel One, hello, ma'am. It's good to see you too. Let me see how you starting us out today. If the husband vetted and picked the right wife, and she is happy and healthy and whole in mind and body and soul to have the same plan, if he is intentional in commitment, love his wife, they will not keep score. I like that. You know what? You're kind of in my head because I was thinking the same thing. This fairness thing that we've been talking about, it's all about score. Because how can it really be fair? Because you know what, Travel One? When a man picks a wife and she says, I do, her purpose then becomes him or them, their family. They actually become one. So there's no need for fairness because whatever we're doing together and we're being very intentional about it and we're not keeping score. So you kind of thinking along the lines that I'm thinking. That was good. I like that. And you're exactly right. If he vets well and he picks the right one. But you know what? Travel One, I had somebody leave a comment today, had me thinking. He said that everybody, man and woman, we all are compatible with each other. And the example he gave was when you have these marriages that are put together, what you call those marriages? Arranged marriages. Arranged marriages tend to last longer than marriages where people seek each other out or have that first physical attraction. So his thing was, what you think about this? What do you think? I think people, man and woman, are just automatically compatible. It's that we have to work at what we want. So I want y'all to think about that too, because he had me thinking. I'm thinking, you know what? Because compatibility can't take you nowhere. What good is that? You could be real compatible, like the same things and very attracted to each other. But if you don't do right within marriage, it ain't going to last very long. It's all going to change. It's going to look very ugly to you. Things he like you ain't going to matter. The things she like you it's not going to matter to you. So he made me wonder. He's got me thinking. I'm kind of leaning towards him too. It's all about what you make of the marriage. It's what you put in. Are you following this blueprint? So, y'all, there's something else for us to think about because this fairness thing, it's nothing but taking numbers. It's like she said, we're in straight competition. Miko, hello. Blessings SB and chat. I'm usually watching doing work as I work from home. So I'm happy to catch you live. Hello. And thank you so much for being here. But yes, guys, tonight we are discussing Is Marriage Fair in 2023? And Travel One kicked it off very well. I like what she said. Men, we definitely, husbands, you have to vet your wives. You definitely do. I think that's something, I don't know if we are even touching on how detailed that needs to be. I say to women and men, I say to a woman, actually, women, I don't think we're in the position ourselves to vet. I think we should just pay close attention. We need to be the ladies, the wives, the woman, the lady, the wife that God intended us to be. And what I mean by that, even prior to us being married, we need to align ourselves to what a wife looks like. Right? I disagree. I agree that that's how it should be. Instead of us going to a man, vocally telling him, well, this is what I like. This is what my man needs to look like. This is what, all of these things. We need to just hold back and be like, just pay attention. We need to make sure we're those women, those wives that we need to be. We need to align ourselves with what God says it looks like. We need to operate as adults. We need to make sure our bills are paid. We need to make sure our house is clean. We need to make sure we dress modestly. We need to make sure the words that we say reflect a mother, a wife, a woman, a lady. We need to make sure we have the right demeanor, the attitude in order to take on a family and bring peace to a household and have a respect for our husbands. We need to make sure that we're that person, because that's what it takes. And see, what happens is when a man sees that and he's vetting, he sees all those good qualities in you, then you will be chosen. But for us to go out and say to a man, you know what? I got to have a God-fearing man. He needs to do that. He needs to make sure he has good credit. He needs to make sure that you might get all types of lies. You might get a man that prays the Lord for about a week. You might get a man that will never tell you about his credit, but he might be low-key scammer. Who knows what? I just think that women, we should pay attention. Just see how this man moves, see how he treats and interacts with you. Do not lower your standards. And what I mean by standard, I'm not talking about settling, ladies. I'm talking about your standards. If your standard is, you have to respect me, you can't come pick me up late from work, you can't be late on dates. If those are your standards, then you have to definitely stick to your standards. Don't allow the person to just, sometimes we'll be like, oh, he was only 30 minutes late, or he didn't call me back. Y'all, those things are very important, in my opinion. I think those things are very, very important. I think we overlook too many red flags along the way. And then we would get with the man and we marry him, or we get in deep relationship with him. And those things that we already saw, it just grows, gets bigger, happens more often. We'd be like, wow, he changed. No, he really didn't. He was showing you along the way, but when you were new, he did better. When you were new and the relationship was new, he tried to show up more on time. He tried to make sure he brought the roses and made sure he opened the door. But was that really, really him? So ladies, we got to pay attention. We definitely do. Now, getting back to what I was saying, let's see. Travel One says travel is for marriage to one wife, one husband always. I don't know why you would say that, but I'm with you. That is exactly what the blueprint says. Your husband, your wife, we're one. That's exactly the way it should be. Excuse me. Now, there are other things that people partake in. That's not something I believe in, so I'm not going to even talk about it. But we're going to get back to this. Now, see, the reason why I'm talking about this today, let's see what she says. A wife waiting for a man God has for her. Absolutely. But we ladies, we have to become those women. We have to become that wife. And it's not easy, y'all. I've been a wife for a long time, and I never told y'all I came in the door perfect or knowing everything. I knew I wanted to be a wife, though. I knew my life just kind of evolved into being a wife, but there was some growing pains that I had to go through because I didn't. Yeah, I've told the story several times. When I was prophesied to, you're going to be a wife. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Oh, you're a wife. Okay. Again, what you supposed to do? You're a wife 2 times. People actually prophesied to me that was my job. And I'm like, okay, I'm already doing that. They was like, no. So I myself had to align closer to what God says a wife should look like. I had to get the books. I had to study the blueprint. I had to be open to what it actually was saying to me. It just took me back to basics, because often we don't go back to basics. Y'all know what I mean by basics, right? Back in the day with Adam and Eve, I had to go back to basics. So that's what I mean. And you have to be willing, these things that men ask for, cooperation, peace in the home and things of that nature. That's the person that you want to be either way. You want to be a cooperative woman, period. You want, you just want to have joy. You don't want to walk around here angry. I see so many people that are angry right now. I said, why? I just asked, why do you have an attitude? What is wrong? And they can't even tell me. To have no reason. You don't feel good? What are we blaming it on today? You have joy, you have your life, you breathe, and you have a place to live. You have everything you need. Why are you not happy? And I don't like the word happy, y'all. Why don't you have joy? But either way, we're gonna move on. I saw a video. Trey, how you doing today? Dr. Steele, how are you? Trey says, no, marriage isn't fair. It isn't, Trey, which is why men aren't getting married anymore. Stats don't lie. Trey, marriage has never been fair. Life has never been fair. When you add that word to it, fairness, what exactly is fair? We make our own choices. We choose whatever it is we want. So what is the equation for being fair? No discrimination, no impartialness. What? How can we even measure that fairness? I think a lot of times, though, people equate 50-50 equality to being fair. And I think that's a lot of times what women may be actually saying. I want to be equal. They actually just want fairness in their own mind. But that's not how it works. It's not. Life isn't that way. Marriage won't be that way. It just won't happen that way. But we're going to talk about it a little bit more. I got a video I want to share with you all. And this is what kind of prompted my thought. I know we talk about this all the time, but it's almost like it doesn't click. It's almost like there's something that needs to be said that isn't being said. So I want to let y'all take a look at the video, and then we're going to talk about it more.
Question then to you is marriage equal?
No.
I'm going to ask you again, is marriage equal?
No. Is he hard of hearing? I said no. I just wanted to say hard of hearing. I used to love that my mom and grandma would use that phrase. Marriage should be fair, but it's not going to be equal.
Okay.
Some people think that fairness means equal, but it doesn't mean equal. It means it's what you can handle and what you do best, so that's fair.
Thank you. All right, you pay 5 bills, I pay 5 bills.
Right.
And it's equal. That means it's automatically fair.
Do you want a spouse or do you want a roommate? You have to split things evenly with a roommate. With a spouse, you just need to be fair, because there's a difference. But some of y'all want to live with a roommate, though. I'm convinced. I'm convinced some people want a roommate because everything. Oh, I did the dishes on Monday. You have to do them on Tuesday. And there's 7 days in a week and only 2 of us, so we both have to do them on Saturday. Some of y'all want a roommate.
Yeah, some of y'all are keeping too many receipts
Right.
when it comes to your marriage.
All right. So you see what I'm saying? They're equating fair to equal. And like they seem to think that in marriage you can be fair. But I don't even, to me, that still doesn't define marriage to me. In marriage, we have some parts of our marriage is a duty. There's things that just have to be done. Is it fair that this person does it every time, or if this person does it every time? Listen, we're not keeping receipts, so it just has to be done. So this is why I say marriage is not fair. But it's not that someone is getting the upper hand. When you and your husband are operating as one, we're both winning. So why do we even look at our relationship as fair or equal? That is my question. Why do we bother to look at a relationship where 2 people are supposed to be becoming one, working in the interest of each other? I'm supposed to see my husband as myself. He's supposed to see me as himself. How could that change? And now I'm like, well, it's just not fair that you get to work Monday through Friday, and I have to work on the weekend, or something silly like that. Why would we be keeping receipts to how much or how often? I wash dishes on Friday, so you got to wash them on Saturday. Why would a relationship? Who does that? And if you didn't wash dishes, why you can't just wash the dishes? Y'all listen, marriage is not fair. I'm not saying that one or the other could be winning, but marriage is not fair. I think there's a duty in marriage. Things just have to be done. But I think both people actually win if done correctly. Trey says, how can marriage be fair or equal when wife isn't a protector or isn't expected to sacrifice their life for the family? Now, Trey, when you say sacrifice your life for the family, you mean die in some way. But a woman's, it's not fair. I said that. I don't think it's fair nor equal. A woman that's not her job to sacrifice her life per se, but she does sacrifice herself all the time, not to death. No, she's not going to jump in front of the bullet, but She will definitely protect her kids. Say her husband's not there. It could be a dangerous situation where she would sacrifice her life for her children and her husband too. I probably would, not thinking. If I see something coming and Mr. Boss didn't see it coming, I'm definitely going to be like, hey, what's up? I'm not going to sit back and run and let him be like, no, it's not going to be like that. Remember, we're acting as one, but it's not fair for a lot of other reasons. A wife has her job in the home with the children, and a husband has his job. So it's just the roles are totally different. And if we both are playing our role in the relationship, we're both winning. It's not a fair issue. It's just, put like this, all these duties that come with being married. I have some that I'm covering. Mr. Boss has some that he's covering. If everybody's covering what they're supposed to cover, right? We have now a marriage relationship. That relationship is winning because we all are doing our part. It doesn't matter. He may have 3 things, but they may be 3 large things per se. And I might have 5 things, but they may be like 5 little things. But it's all a requirement in order for this home and this marriage to grow and us to build together. That's what it looks like. You can't take a little piece of this and be like, oh, because I'm doing this, you should do that. In marriage, we don't keep score. And I have no idea why we keep score. It just goes back to what this young lady said. Most people nowadays, they want a roommate. They don't want a wife or a husband. And that's what you have to ask yourself. You're exactly right, Miss M. In marriage, it's about exercising roles. It's all about the roles we play. It's not about being fair, because there's going to be, men, I hate to say this, but having a baby is not easy. And I just wouldn't put that on you all. And I can't even explain to you how difficult of a role that is. I can't even find something that you're responsible for that would equate to me having a baby. I just can't. Because guess what? That is, Trey, some say, sacrificing your life. Because very well, you may not make it through actually having a baby. But women, they risk their lives and they'll get pregnant over and over again, and they'll have these children because the husband and wife have agreed to it. And there, at any moment, if something goes wrong, heaven forbid, she may not walk away from that experience. I hope that never happens, but we already know it does. But that is a near-death experience that a woman would do at any given time. So, Trey, there you go. But that's not for him not to ask her not to have children. That is what her role is in this world, is to procreate. And she's the person that delivers and carries and delivers the baby. That's what we're here for. We were made for that. If a man is supposed to be given authority over all things, given dominion over all things from the beginning, that innately in him, he possessed something that would enable him to do that. Whether he's walking in it or not today or not, who knows? But he has something in him that gave him the ability to do that. Now, if he hasn't exercised that's something, that gift that was given to him, that's on him. But my point I'm trying to make is that's who men are. Just like a woman's role is to have a child, that's what we bring to the table. So it's not like hers is worse than his, or his is more, worse than hers, whatever the situation is. It's just like she said, Miss M said, it's the roles that we play. If one isn't performing their roles because of some force of nature, medical condition, that wouldn't be fair. Well, it's not fair, but that is just how it is. This is life. Life is not fair. Like we talked about, I said this from the very beginning. Life isn't fair because we do make choices. It's not. You know what? This kind of makes me go to what, and this is kind of off, y'all. But when we're talking about this, it makes me think about Charleston White. I know that's crazy. It makes me think about Charleston White because a lot of things that Charleston White says, we may agree with. He is about the Black community. And he also often talks about how we should not leave the Black community behind. Like when there are millionaires or when there are celebrities and things of that nature, and they make money and they make this money and they leave their community. So he wants the celebrities to look, don't make the money and leave the community, make the money and, build up the community, give people something to live for. It's kind of like what I'm hearing him say. And I think about that, and I kind of agree with that to a degree, but 1 person, 2 people, 10 people, how much can they actually do? Oprah is responsible for a lot of things. I think she's touched a lot of people. The example he gave was Deion Sanders. I think Coach Prime has touched a lot of young men and done a lot of things, but it makes me wonder. It makes me think because it goes back to choices. Someone else said, you know, why don't you build that big house on a Chicago block, LeBron? Why did you take that money and build that big house somewhere else in some suburb? Why didn't you build that house in the middle of the Chicago block? What are you scared of? You know, let's just keep it all the way real, y'all. He's afraid that if he built his house, this big mansion he has in the middle of a Chicago block, that the neighborhood or people in or from the neighborhood would actually steal from him, maybe hurt him in some way, take from him. He just does not feel safe putting this $1 million house on this block, you know, in the middle of Chicago. And y'all, these are our people. So the question would be to him, why did you do it? What are you scared of? He's definitely scared and afraid of that. I would think most of us are scared and afraid of if we become millionaires or celebrities or what have you, and we can afford more of a home and more, you know, could raise our families, have more money, have more access, whatever. Why would we not put in the middle of a South Chicago block? Why wouldn't we? Because we wouldn't feel safe. We wouldn't do it. And even though everyone has choices and everybody would know this is LeBron's house, would LeBron be safe? Absolutely not, because there would be people all around him trying to get to LeBron. So this is why you have choices, and this is why people make decisions to do what they do. And this is possibly why our community is where it is. And I hate to have to go down that road, y'all, because it just went that way because I'm thinking about choices and I'm thinking about fairness and how things are not going to be fair. They're not. It's not about him. It's about his family. It's about him, his family, his choice. But Trey, guess what? Why does he have to even think about that, though? Why does that have to be a cause? Why does that even have to be a second thought? I think all of us may think that way. No matter where I live, I want to feel protected. But why can't I live amongst my people and feel protected? Why can't I? Why would I do it? What would be, you know, what is the reason why I can't live amongst my people and feel protected? I absolutely should be able to. Matter of fact, y'all, I should be able to live amongst my people and feel more protected. But why do we not? So it brings me back to these choices again. And it just made me think of Charleston White, y'all. I got off because I'm just thinking about all these things and how he speaks and how, you know, people are always basically, you know, talking trash to people who are successful, people who they feel like have made lots of money, business owners and things of that nature. You ain't helping nobody. You ain't doing this. You're not doing that. And listen, we do well. You know, me and my husband do well. We have a business. We try to employ our people. We try to give. We try to help. I'm here now trying to speak to ladies. I've been married 28 years. I'm trying to share with ladies how this can actually happen with them. And it's like, it's not enough. It's like, you know, is anybody listening to what I'm saying? Listen, we all can have this. We can make choices where, and I'm not saying that my situation is the best, but I definitely feel as though I'm covered. I'm protected. I feel like I have all my necessities. I feel, you know, I'm full of joy. I'm satisfied in my situation. I don't feel like I don't lack anything, you know? So this is what I would want for the Black woman. I wouldn't want the Black woman to be a single mom by herself, uncovered, in lack, being evicted. Y'all, I've been looking at TV lately, YouTube actually, and they have this show on there, and I know y'all probably have seen it. It's some eviction shows. And they are evicting people, you know, for cause, of course, but it's almost like the people didn't know that they were going to get evicted. And it's been Black women that I've been seeing. And it's like, it's just an amazing sight, because it's like, okay, in the midst of it, I'm saying to I'm sitting here talking to the camera. I'm talking to the TV, y'all. I'm talking to the TV. Okay, you know, you didn't pay your rent for 6 months or whatever. You knew this day was coming. I'm fussing at her. Because instead of her right now making a plan, taking care of the situation, She's now cussing out the landlord in the sheriff department or the marshal. She cussing them out. I'm saying, lady, no. You only have a certain amount of time. Get in that car. Go get you a U-Haul. Get your stuff off the sidewalk. And you can think about all that later. But it was like, y'all know they couldn't hear me, but it's like nobody has said this. They throwing her stuff outside on the sidewalk. She's cussing them out. She hadn't paid rent in 6 months. And I'm yelling in the background through the TV, lady, go get you a U-Haul. Nobody is being rational. Nobody has any ounce of logic. She's just sitting there arguing and fussing about something that she knew that one day would come. And I'm saying this, I'm trying to share some logic with our ladies, and we are very much emotional. And how emotional can you be? Somebody's coming to your home and throwing all your stuff outside, and they're not telling you or giving you any kind of grace. They like, look, you've had 6 months worth of grace. It's over with. And they throwing the stuff out, and you still up there cussing them out. I'm like, lady, please, just go get you a U-Haul. Have them take it. Look, you could get some free movers if you smart enough. She could have ran up there and got a U-Haul. Look, don't put it on the sidewalk. Put it in the back of the U-Haul. And she could have had her some free movers. But no, she was arguing and fussing. And I'm just saying all of this because I'm thinking about choices and things that we do and life being fair, because someone somewhere would say that those men and that landlord was very unfair to her because they threw her things out. And I'm saying to myself, but y'all, she stayed in the house 6 months and didn't pay. And I think about this all the time. I'm like, God, please help me. God ain't done with me, because listen, me and Mr. Boss used to have a lot of rental properties. and it was before COVID, of course, but I reflected on us having these rental properties, and I said, wow, I am so glad we sold all those homes, because during COVID, there were people living in properties and not paying rent because there was a rent moratorium, or whatever you call it, on the rent because of COVID, and nobody had to pay any money for rent. So therefore, if I had a note against my house, or if I had a mortgage against my house, I had to pay the mortgage in order to keep myself straight. But the people living in my house didn't have to pay me any money. Now, y'all, I want to be the best person in the world, but I don't know if I could have dealt with that. I'm telling you, I'm asking God to help me. I've been asking. Every time I think about it, y'all, I just get chills, because the fact that I am paying for an adult person to live in my home, and they don't care an ounce about me or what my finances or what my credit looks like, it just hurts me. So again, I'm going back to these choices, and then now it's 6 months later. So for 6 months, he's probably had to pay mortgage to somebody on her behalf. So he's in turn, he's taking care of this person, this adult woman. And now all she has for him is a stern cussing out. A stern cussing out. So anyway, y'all, listen, I'm just rattling on now because I've been thinking about it. I'm going back to life being fair, marriage being fair in 2023. It is not. Life isn't fair. And then it just brings me to these choices. I'm thinking about what Charleston White is always saying, because you want to do all that you could do for your people. You do. But guess what, y'all? I'm scared too. I'm not going to put the $1 million house in the middle of Chicago on the South Side. I'm not going to do it, because I do have a fear. So what do I do? So I'm too looking for answers. But in marriage, it's not fair. We all have our individual roles. And that's what we bring to the table. But the job of a marriage is to make each other better, but we also are becoming one. And that's our concentration. So if you're looking and going into marriage thinking it's going to be fair, thinking it's going to be equal or anything like that, that is a wrong idea. It is not. It is not. It's going to be very beneficial, in my opinion. It's going to be very satisfying, but fair is not the word I would use for marriage. So listen, Jedi is here. Hello, sir.
How you doing? Can you hear me?
I can. You look so handsome.
Oh, thank you.
And grown up. I mean, really.
Yes, a lot has happened. So,
I know. I mean, good things, hopefully.
Yes, absolutely.
Good. What's going on?
No, I just wanted to just respond, to the topic of the video saying, is marriage fair in 2023? And someone who just got married in 2023, I can tell you definitely it's not fair at all. Again, marriage can be sacrificed, but I also see it as a form of obedience, and surrender. In my ways as a man, and also to my wife, her position in terms of surrendering, as a woman. Because again, there's a lot of things now when you're joining two people into one, into one flesh, that's there's a lot of things where we have to surrender and sacrifice for allowing the other person to fill in that position. And again, now obviously, you and I are, our foundation comes, from Word of God. But regardless of that, if you just want to use common sense, in general, in terms of the constitution of marriage throughout history, it's always just been about order, and structure. And again, and the fact that for me to be selfish is me be out of order. And I think that that's what a lot of people today are not really understanding, that yes, we're promoting this thing, such as of promoting, understanding yourself, and self identity and everything, which is very important. However, what happens, what at least the negative Instagram quotes and things we see on social media, the shade room, spiritual world, whatever Instagram accounts that you see that's now been posting a lot of things, and people, especially TikTok, is promoting a thing about of self, in terms of pursuing selfishness, pursuing a sense of pride. But pride is the root of all sin. And I guess definitely when you stand in the position of, or the institution of marriage, you have to surrender that pride. You have to give it up, because if you don't, you will ultimately fail.
You know what I noticed, Jedi, and I'm sure, well, you maybe have not experienced this yet, but I've noticed in men, there is, you all get so much gratification when you are that head of that household, and you have those kids, and everyone in that household respects you. And when you come in for work, that child runs down the hallway, daddy, 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 or your wife kisses you and welcomes you in that home. Men get so much gratification from that. Now, I don't know if you've experienced it yet, because you don't have any kids yet. So I don't know if you've seen that yet, but I think in the role of a man, it's the same for a wife. Like, if I cook and my husband eats all my food and act like it's the best thing in the world, that's very gratifying for me.
Yes.
Or when I'm being a wife correct, or if I'm doing well at it, and I just know I am, just because of the fruit, things that are around me, how do we live, how my husband looks, the glow, all of that. These things are very, very gratifying to me. So
Yes.
I think that's the part that we miss. Nobody ever talks about, see, it's gratifying, not happiness. It's like you put in this hard work, or you're being this obedient, disciplined person with this order because of this.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you want. I've never had to worry about Mr. Boss being out in the street, being, what do you call, homemonger. He's never had to worry about me, slipping emails or doing something that I'm not supposed to do as a wife. In 28 years, we've never brought that type of mischief or what have you into our marriage. That is so gratifying.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? That makes all of it worth it. That makes having a relationship worth having a relationship. And I think a lot of times people don't discuss that, because we bring there's so many relationships or marriages that are so trashy. Let's just be honest, that are so trashy that all that gets covered, all the good stuff about it gets covered up or left out. So go ahead. No, you
Right.
can.
Well, because the healthy stuff doesn't get talked about, because again, healthy is not a very promotable thing, because again, it's reality, right? A lot of people want to see dysfunction, because
Yes.
in us, it excites saying, "Well, God, glad it ain't me." Just know that'll be you probably tomorrow if you continue, seeding in that type of content. But to the points that you were making, like, I have definitely experienced that. Like, obviously, my wife cooks for me. There's a clean plate, and especially when she's experimenting for the first time, things I never really cooked for a man, other than like, my family, stuff teaching me stuff. And now it's like, she's trying something new, and sometimes it might be trial and error, but I still eat it.
Right. That makes us feel great. I mean, she may not do anything but smile, but you don't understand. It gives us the meaning of the position that we've taken on as a wife. That makes it all purposeful for us. It lets us know, yes, I'm your helpmate. I'm here for you, and this is what I'm doing. I mean, even like shaving a bald head, even conditioning the skin, all that stuff. It's like, I just know men, my husband eats it up. And it makes me feel like, okay, I'm the wife now. You know, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I just don't think that we talk about that much. But you're exactly right. We love some dysfunction. I mean, the messier it get, you know, if two brothers, a brother and a sister got married, we'd be like, oh, for real? How they do that? You know, we all into it. We are all into it. But you're right. You know, I mean, you know, though, is that entertainment though? I mean, are we looking for that? Are we looking at that for actual relevance, or is it just entertainment?
It's entertainment, but also can be, also a form of jealousy or envy, because again, jealousy in the form is jealousy is why not me? Why I'm not married or whatever, right? But envy is I don't want it to be you, right?
Mm.
And so what it is that they'll find any opportunity to or chip in the armor to actually see through, like especially when how quick, when I courted my wife and now we got married, the first thing people asked was like, okay, is she pregnant or what's going on? Like, how did, like, why this happened so quick? No, because I said, hey, I'm courting you. This is the time frame I gave her, and this is when I did it. But even then afterwards, like we had, and this is also a more spiritual thing, the power in that. A lot of people don't talk about how it's almost like, you have twins, where one twin is far away and they feel like, hey, something's wrong with my twin sister, my twin brother, whatever. That somewhat feels like that way in marriage too, where I'm not being near my wife. I feel like something's wrong. I come back and say, hey, does this happen? Like, yeah, this happened today. Or she might feel like something happened to me in some form or fashion. She's like, hey, are you okay? No, this happened to me today. And that's the beauty about joining one flesh, right? And we had a situation I can in detail where they're basically people from outside basically trying to get into our relationship and was trying to do some stuff and then we're like, okay, that was weird, and ironically, here we go, the following morning we were talking about it and it happened at the same time for both of us with two different people, where someone was trying to get into a relationship, trying to damage, try to steer us away from each other, gossip, whatever it might be. And I was like, what, what's happening? And I felt like really a shift in my spirit, like that was kind of weird. And I know that I thought that as a man, like, is that just me or whatever? And I shared it to my wife, like, no, that happened with me with my girlfriend the same night. I was like, wow. And that again, and this the thing is powerful about again, just that is also a spiritual thing too, where again, people just like to see the opportunity to seek, kill, and destroy. Whatever you want to, talk about it or not, I do see as a form either of jealousy or envy, because again, they don't know the hard work got to me, to get to this point. Like, especially prior, like a year or two prior ago. Like, I mean, I look like a completely different person for some people, but again, that's just the grace of God.
Yeah, and you know what though? You said a lot because okay, I got many years over you. So
Yes, ma'am.
I learned a lot in my years. But going back to what you just said, I've been saying here for a very long time that we got to protect our marriages.
Yes.
Now, not everybody's going to agree with me. Some people want to hold on to things. I have learned that my husband is my best friend, and that's what needs to happen. I do know that there are good friends out there, and there are some that could be envious of what you have, and there could be some that are undermining, not even knowing that they're undermining. So
Right.
protect your marriage. No relationship comes before your marriage, but your relationship you have with God. Nothing supersedes your marriage. So you got to keep that in mind when you want to have these relationships with girlfriends or guy friends, whatever the situation is. You have to make sure that that is lining up to the same mindset that you have with your own relationship. You understand what I mean? They
Yes,
got to
ma'am.
be thinking the same thing. They can't influence you negatively or against your marriage in any way, even if they're not talking against your marriage. It could be simply, it could be simply, come on, let's go out somewhere. And you're like, no, I need to go ahead and check in with my wife. No, man, you ain't got to do that.
Yes. I had.
Just
Yes.
that simple. And
There's.
guess what? He may not have had any intentions, not, in his own
Right.
mind, but
Right.
unconsciously, that is against what you have put in place for your marriage.
Mm-hmm. And it's the
So,
importance about boundaries too. Again, that a lot of us don't talk to is like boundaries. Not in terms of me just being defensive. It's just me being protective of what my marriage is like. Because of also my age, me and my wife we're 25, and just in that atmosphere and that culture, being 25 can definitely be very tempting and be very difficult in terms of protecting a a marriage in that environment with friends who are just also just on their own journeys too. And what's happened, which is what I'd like to share, is that that now our friend group now kind of like shifted to a point now you're seeing a lot of people coupling and not going into the the modern day of dating and stuff. They actually, no, I want to be with this one person, see this direction too. And this is happening with some of my fraternity brothers who pulled me off to the side. So I'm like, like you guys actually did it. And I remember when you said you were courting her, and I mean I didn't believe you and everything, and that's why you didn't go to this kickback and XYZ. And I'm saying, as someone who's in a fraternity, you already know how that culture goes too.
Yes, I
Right?
do.
Yeah. So
I do.
but again, it just also, this is what the power of discipline, and also obedience too. It's just like, again, marriage is not a game not a game at all. It's not for the weak. And if anything, matures you and strengthens you, not only just in your relationship, but also within yourself. So, but again, what turns about being fairness is like, there's going to be something that, life is about choices and trade-offs. You have to understand what you actually want in that life and what you're going to trade in order to get that.
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you this, Jedi. Do you think that we can put together our reunion show by Thursday?
Dearly beloved.
Please tell me. Yeah. I mean, I don't see.
Because I am listening to you and I want to hear more stories. Not really, you know what I mean by stories.
Yeah,
I want to hear more
ma'am.
things that you all have gone through. I want to definitely hear what Cam and JB are talking about, because they got the baby.
Yes.
And
That's
I'm just like, and I want to find, I haven't seen or heard anything from Cheeky in a long time. And I think I'm clear to say, Blooming Ebony
Yes.
is pregnant.
Yes. Yes.
So I just got to have y'all back, and we got to talk about this, because this all happened this year. Seems like, basically all happened this year,
Yes.
or within a year, I should say,
within, and this is the thing why, why I said I'll always, support you and defend, defend, in terms of what your message and your mission in terms of what this channel and what this does, because again, you saw, me, Cheeky, JB and Cam, shout out to Broken Dusty. Like, we definitely experienced like a lot of ageism, in this space. But what you saw is you just saw the byproduct of just in terms of who we are, but also what we commit ourselves to do. But again, also just a testament to the wisdom that we got, from you and from other people that, definitely prayed and covered us in a way where, we're protecting these folks here,
Mhm.
and over a year, you saw that we did not, much of this space has changed in many different forms of factors. We did not change. We just, we evolved. And, so
that's so good, because guess what? I don't think I've changed either. I think I can go back to one of my videos 2 years ago, and I'm saying the same exact thing that I'm saying. But this is crazy, because it took a whole year for people to hear me. You know what I'm saying? Because when I first came in the spot, it was a war. If you can recall, there was war, and I refused to war. I was like, no, I'm not picking a side. I'm putting people together. Then that second year is then when we start seeing that marriage was an option. And then, we had the standard, and then now y'all got married, and now y'all having families. And it didn't stop with you all. There have been a few others too.
Yes, ma'am.
That I have kind of lost track of. I don't know exactly where they are, but the standards is here. And I would love you. Let's see, can we do it? Let's see, can we put together something for Thursday? I would love to do that. And it would just be you all talking. We'll come up with some subject, but pertaining to you guys as newlyweds, because we still consider all y'all newlyweds, because it's been right at a year.
It'll be 6 months this Friday. It'll be our
Okay,
6th
so
month.
JB and Cam were first. I think they were like in July, right?
Yeah. I want to say maybe April.
It was warm. It was getting warm. I remember that.
It was getting warm.
And then Ebony was definitely in June.
Yes.
Chris was in June. So yeah, I need to talk to y'all, and I'm gonna have. Listen, I'm definitely gonna find Cheeky. You gotta reach out to him, but we gotta find him too, because he's the only one that is not married, and I don't know if he wants to be married.
Right. Yeah.
So I want to hear from him what he actually thinks about what is going on with you guys, because y'all were all together all the time, per se. You know what I mean? And he's the only one that is not married. So I really would like to have that show, and I would love to do it on Thursday if possible. But if Thursday is not good, then we need to shoot for Tuesday. But the less time to think about it and find more things to do is, the more time I give y'all, the more things come up. So,
Yeah, I
you know,
believe I believe you probably have Cam contact. I know I do, but
yeah.
um, but yeah, definitely probably message. Not Thursday, next Tuesday. But yeah, I'd be more than willing to because again, like I will say, going to the end of this year, I can say I have lived the best year of my life.
Oh, wow.
I can
Oh,
honestly.
that is outstanding. Oh gosh, oh wow, that is outstanding. And it can only get better. But just keep in mind though, you are creating your reality. Don't let people from the outside, or like you said, just because you are 25 years old, so you have a lot of influence around you. Things are moving like this is what's in, this is what's hot, this is what we're doing. Don't let that stuff influence you. Y'all stay structured. You stay with the structure, stay with the order, and stay with the principles. Y'all will succeed at this. But in that, you can still be satisfied and fulfilled. It doesn't have, you're not missing anything. Just keep that in mind.
Mhm.
You're not missing anything. Because I can imagine I was 25 when I got married too.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're going to feel like, you may feel like you're missing something, but you're not. You're really not. You create an environment that will take you throughout your life. And becoming one, that is the mystery. God says that is a mystery on how two people become one. So you got to experience that. If you haven't already, it's working. It's a working thing. Now I'm at the point where me and Mr. over here could be in the same room and ain't got to say nothing. We'll know what's going on. So you want that type of relationship with someone. You want that person that you could trust and be that vulnerable with, that just knows and cares about you, and you just know it. You feel it all through your bones that this person got my back. You want that.
Yes. I actually, because even this year, like, I mean, me and my wife, we just experienced like our first loss together. Like, I lost my grandmother last month, and
I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah, and that was that was like my closest, grandmother out of, in terms of my entire family, and that was, very difficult. And again, I have to shout out to my wife, Tamika, for definitely supporting me at that time. But again, there's definitely hardships that we have experienced, which I definitely would like to, discuss just in terms of people like, hey, there's such thing as reality, not just in marriage and relationships. Again, but again, I just kind of encourage people, aside from all the, naysayers and stuff like that, if you're disciplined, you're obedient, there's many more blessings to come. But in that midst of struggle, there's also comfort that comes along the way, because you actually endured.
Wow. This is excellent. Listen, I'm going to go on with the show, but plug in Thursday at 7. And when I'm done today, I'm going to try to reach out to everybody else to see if they can do a show on Thursday. And I'm going to contact you to put some title to it or whatever you want to share that would be helpful to other young people, because you guys are the next gen. I mean, you're the generation, you're the nuclear family, you're what's happening now. And you're the ones that we want to be married. You definitely are, instead of just, out here just being single and, doing who knows what. We don't want that for you all. Right. And I definitely don't want that for my ladies. So, all right. So we want to talk about it more. And I listen, because it means more coming from you all, because y'all married and new at it. They look at me and they tell me, you lying. I'm a liar. If I'm happy or forget happy, if I'm satisfied and fulfilled with my husband, I got the glow and I'm telling everybody about it, I'm lying. But how about this? This man's been married 6 months. The other one's been married 7 months or 8 months or whatever. They're saying the same thing. What you got for them? So I would love to, I want y'all to share that. Definitely. But anything else you want to add before you go?
No, I said thank you again just for having me. Yeah, I'll talk to my wife and see what we can do over that. But especially get the whole gang together. I haven't seen them, talk to them, through like StreamYard and everything. So it'd be nice to see them again. But again, it's also just a testament just of of just God's blessing. Again, he just provided for people that we love. I love every single one of you guys and everything. And again, all I can also say is just thank you. Because this is definitely not without to take. No, I don't want to be the person to also take for granted. Because people be like, well, we got here, we don't want to help, at least give credit to people that help us along the way, or at least was a somewhat of a factor, if not just in the marriage, just me as a person, just helping me and just get to the point I am in life, and to the evolved man I am now. Because again, you guys saw the evolution of me and and you guys are not done yet. So still
Yeah,
more to go.
definitely.
But yeah,
It can
thank you.
definitely work, and you could be just fine in it. So keep that in mind. But I'm going to talk to you when I'm done.
Okay,
All right.
absolutely.
Thank
Okay.
you. Tell Tamika hello. All right. So listen, guys. Tonight the show is marriage fair in 2023? Y'all already know I've said marriage is not fair. Never has been fair. We have our roles, and we get satisfaction in our roles and doing them well, following the blueprint that God has set for us. That is what we do. It's not about keeping score, who washed dishes the most, who did it on Monday night, who did it on Saturday night. Hey, Salam, how you doing? It's not about that. It's about building and becoming one with your spouse. I'm going to watch this video one more time. And then if anybody disagrees with me or thinks that marriage is fair or should be fair, then I want y'all to come up and let me know, because I want to figure out how we do that. Because keep in mind, y'all know I ventured off a minute ago, but I was on them choices, y'all. It's almost like we don't understand that we make choices, which outlines or that's our life. We set our life in motion by making these choices that we make. But listen to the video.
So my question then to you is marriage equal?
No.
I'm gonna ask you again, is marriage equal?
No. Is he hard of hearing? I said no. I just wanted to say hard of hearing. I used to love that my mom and grandma would use that phrase. Marriage should be fair, but it's not going to be equal.
Okay.
Some people think that fairness means equal, but it doesn't mean equal. It means it's what you can handle and what you do best, so that's fair.
Thank you. All right, you pay 5 bills, I pay 5 bills.
Right.
And it's equal. That means it's automatically fair.
Do you want a spouse or do you want a roommate? You have to split things evenly with a roommate. With a spouse, you just need to be fair, because there's a difference. But some of y'all want to live with a roommate, though. I'm convinced. I'm convinced some people want a roommate, because everything. Oh, I did the dishes on Monday. You have to do them on Tuesday. And there's 7 days in a week and only 2 of us, so we both have to do them on Saturday. Some of y'all want a roommate.
Yeah, some of y'all are keeping too many receipts
Right.
when it comes to your marriage.
So listen, guys, I like what they said, but I do not agree with the fairness part. And I mean, I don't know if she just used that word for lack of a better term, but I don't think marriage is fair. I'm letting you know that. Again, we have roles in our marriage, and we go after these roles, or we attempt to do these roles. And it's not even that too. Let's go one deeper, because if there's something that my husband can't do, I am definitely going to do, because as a helpmate, I get in wherever I'm needed to get in. Wherever I'm chosen to be, if he has something that I need to do that may not be of my normal duty or role, then I definitely need to do that too, because that's what we do as helpmates. But it is not fair. It's not even, I don't even think fair is a word that we would use to measure our marriage. And I don't know why people do that. It's definitely not equal. We've already said that a woman is not equal to a man. I don't know why they would want to be equal. And if there's somebody that does not agree with me, I would love to hear your point. It doesn't even matter. But if Mr. Boss actually dropped the link, if you want to come up and speak for just a moment, you're welcome to do so. I don't have but a little bit more time here, because I'm not going to be with y'all too long. But I do want to share at this moment my little secret. So I hope you all are listening, right? So if y'all remember, about 2 months ago, no, a little over a month ago, I was on a show by the name of Hardlyinitiated, right? I'm whispering because I don't want everybody to hear me. But anyway, I was there. Y'all, they have asked me to come back. And the show is on Sunday, this coming Sunday at 5 p.m. But listen, everything has not been worked out yet, so it's not concrete yet. But I'm just telling my family that I'm going to be on Hardlyinitiated on Sunday at 5 o'clock. We just working out all the particulars. But Sunday at 5, y'all can find me on Hardlyinitiated. But I'm going to tell y'all again, once it's totally confirmed. It's confirmed with me, but we just got to work out some particulars. But on Sunday, I will be back on Hardlyinitiated. I want all my family there, all SB Nation, all my men and all my women. I need y'all there. I need y'all in the comment section. And y'all know we enjoyed ourselves, and I want y'all there with me. Okay? But y'all keep it a secret until Thursday. I'll announce it officially on Thursday, so everybody. Miss Hill said I knew they would invite you back, but they had already talked about it, but not this year. I was supposed to be for next year, but now they are changing up the show. They are doing 3 days a week live shows. I think on Sunday was a preview show, meaning they did a studio show and then they just previewed it on Sunday. But now they're doing Sundays live. And apparently not everybody hates SB. So they invited me back for some more of my humor and my love talk. Y'all know my love talk. Y'all know the one. So anyway, y'all keep it a secret until I speak to you all again on Thursday. But if there's anybody that is wanting to say something to SB, the link is in the chat. Definitely hit the link. Come on up. Tell me what you think. But as of right now, y'all need to understand, those of you that are thinking about being married, marriage is not fair. As women and men, we have our individual roles that we play. Like Trey pointed out earlier, a man is a protector. He's sacrificing his life. We have a woman who has a womb, who carries a baby. She's also sacrificing her life, but we were put here to do those jobs. And neither party is expected to give their lives. Those are just things that we are commanded to do. If, something should happen and heaven forbid that things go wrong, that could be our consequence, but that is not, these are still our roles. And this is the role we play within this relationship. That's just something that we do. It comes along with the job, and women understand that because we carry babies. We're here to procreate and to give birth to these kids. Men understand as protectors. They're there to protect their family, their wives, and what have you. Everybody knows their roles. Is it fair? No, but we have the roles that we've been given. And this is something that we have to do. Marriage is not fair, but it's definitely rewarding. It is selfless. You have to sacrifice. And, for those people out there keeping score, wanting it to be fair and all those things, this is not the type of relationship you want if you think those things apply. They don't. It doesn't. You have to be better than that. Clement Gray, how are you? Can you do it without complaining or keep reminding them of what you do? Complaining about having a baby? Clement, listen, hold on now, Clement. If that's what you're talking about, a woman who is with child may be a little uncomfortable, and she may be, complaining about the pain or the discomfort that she may be in it. It's kind of hard for your whole body to change to fit in another body. Let me tell y'all something. My child wore 8 pounds and 6 ounces. He was a big one. I had a big baby. 8 pounds and 6 ounces. So I don't think I complain much at all, but you got to rub the back, rub the feet, do something to make them, more comfortable. But it is it's a lot of discomfort a lot of times when a woman is with child. So just try to be a little bit more patient with her, Clement. Listen, Miss M said, I wouldn't want my husband's role. He wouldn't want mine. Absolutely not. I don't want my husband's role either. Not at all. And I don't know any man that's willing. Let me take that back. I'm going to say it anyway. I don't know any man that wants to have a baby. No, none of them. So it is difference in roles. But again, y'all, it is not fair. We have our individual things that we're supposed to do. SB, you all have to blame Eve for that. Eve kind of messed us up, didn't she, Mr. Gilbert? She was just doing way too much. Can you imagine what life would be like if she would have just followed directions and didn't have to know everything? That's just not who we are. We have to know everything. We have to be inquisitive. We have to ask questions. We have to want more, the life. Who knows? But anyway, guys, it is, I don't know. I wish we knew, we had all God's mind and all knowing. Isn't that what it was? Isn't the fact that she wanted to be all knowing is the problem? If she just understood the program and understood her job and her role, not having to be all knowing, we could have been just fine. But hey, there you go. Oh my gosh, Eve messed us up. Eve messed us up, didn't she? She had to be all knowing. Miss M, we don't need to know everything. We need to be quiet most of the time and just be taken care of. What's wrong with that? What is wrong with that? Y'all, listen, I am setting up my standard show, and hopefully we can set it up for Thursday. That's going to be an outstanding show. If you all haven't been with me for over a year, you might not know what I'm talking about. But the standard is a show where I had 4 young people Jedi Mike, Cam, Blooming Ebony, and Cheeky Banter. Those were the 4 young individuals on my show. And I called them the standards. Actually, Black Man gave me that name. And we called them the standard because to me, those individuals displayed principles, structure, discipline, all of it. Those 4 young people, they are very young and they all displayed that type of behavior to me. And we had a show and each one of them played a part. They had a subject that they researched, they knew about, and they brought it to SB's platform. It's on my channel right now. If you want to go back and take a look at it, each one of them had a show per week or something like that. I think it was. But guess what? Since then, 3 of those individuals have gotten married. 3 of them have gotten married. One has had a child already in marriage, and one has a child on the way. And y'all, we only have one more to get married. And it's just so exciting because it's like they've been listening to SB this whole time and they got married. Oh my gosh. You know, considering how much of a rift or a war, you know, that's on these platforms. I mean, I know that they had to listen. Women ain't nothing. Women don't do this and men ain't nothing but trash. They had to hear that and still be able to choose a good partner within all that. And I got to tell you, they all have very good partners. And I all of them are going to be successful in this marriage because all of them took it serious. Blooming Ebony, man, look, I need some etiquette. I'm going to read this book. I'm going to charm school. She was about being a wife. She was about being a mother. She is about that. I should say that. She put everything she had into it. She did classes. She read books. She wanted to be the best version of herself. And she did it. She is doing it. She is doing it. Jedi, same thing. He had men folks that he talked to, that he listened to, that he asked questions. They are doing it. Same for Cam etiquette class. Let me read this book. These people wanted to be wives and husbands, and they did the work to do so. They did the work. They got the understanding, and they was like, hey, listen, I don't need to wait another 4 or 5 years. I'm gonna go ahead and do it now. And they all are under 30. I think maybe Ebony might be 26. She may be the oldest of them all, but still, y'all, it just brings me joy because marriage is an option and they are now living it out. They are now creating a nuclear family that we all know that we need to have in order to have community. I know I can't wait to T-Shaw. I hope we can get them on. I know you know who they are, T-Shaw, because you've been here. Clement says, the things you do in marriage at SB, the sacrifice one makes in a marriage, not about you having a baby. Huh? A baby is a sacrifice. What are you talking about? No, that wasn't, I'm not sure what you're saying, but what I was referring to is earlier, Trey said a marriage is not equal and not fair because a man gives his life for his family, his wife. He protects her in giving his life. And what I said was that, you know, a woman actually can lose her life in childbirth also. So I don't know if we're talking about the same thing, but if we are, that's what I was talking about. Hopefully that we are. SB, I had 2 really good clips, but I keep having to cut them down more and more to send them until they were not worth sending. Oh, wow. Just give me the referral of where it is. I can go look it up. But you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that. I want to say this. Y'all know that my lives get clipped up a lot, right? There are a lot of people doing duos. There are a lot of people reposting, and Mr. Boss actually clips up, Hardlyinitiated clips up and all that. And sometimes when you clip a video, it loses its actual or the meaning from the beginning because you don't have the beginning and the end on it. So I want to clear up something. I did a video with Harrison Family Values on last Tuesday. And the whole show was about 50-50 marriages and things of that nature and how me and Mr. Boss actually did the one pot. And the reason why I'm clearing it up is because we did one pot. And what I would like for women to understand, or everyone to understand, because on the clip, it kind of seems like I'm saying a woman shouldn't get a job to help with the family. That's not what I said. What I said was a man shouldn't want a woman to get a job so she can help with the bills is what I'm saying, to buy stuff. You know, often a woman would say to a man, or I'm hearing now in these spaces, $57,000 is not enough. A man is not making enough money if he makes an average wage of $57,000. A woman may say, this is not enough money. Where we gonna live? How we gonna live? And I'm saying to the man, watch out for that, because that may not be someone you want as a wife. She may not be a wife, because a wife would understand that she needs to live under the means of her husband. Her husband needs to be the one that's carrying, driving this ship, because if something happened, he needs to be the person who takes care of the situation. Now, she needs to work, but as a helpmate, she would want to put her money into this one pot or wherever they're putting their money, so they can have money to invest or have money to grow, to save money, or whatever the situation may be. But we don't need to live off that money, and we definitely don't need to just spend the money on stuff. So that's what I'm trying to say. And it's okay to live off your husband's means. If he's 57,000 today, he may not be 57,000 in 10 years. He may be who knows what, but it's all about building with your spouse. And I was just saying, that's a sure way. Living within your husband's means is a sure way to have in my opinion, to have a trouble-free marriage, no stress, because we already know that we're living in the means of my husband. Mr. Boss is going to play the video. He has a plan for his life. Another 5 years, I'm going to do this and this and this and this. Excuse me. That is his plan. Mm-hmm. If he decides to take on a wife, she may look at that as though this is not enough. What he is that she's not a wife. It's not for him to bring her in to put her to work so they can have more stuff. She is his helpmate. This is true, but he shouldn't have to rely on what she is making for the betterment of their family.
Facts. So why do you say she's not a wife? Let's go into that, because I know some women are watching this and they're like, SB is on one right now.
I'll be on it a lot. Well, the reason why I'm saying she's not a wife is because her mindset has not changed from being a single person, a single-minded person who thinks about herself and her well-being, to being a married woman whose concentration is her family, her husband, and her family. So, guys, y'all understand what I mean. Hopefully, y'all understand. Y'all don't see how I talk. When I say a woman is not a wife, what I mean by that is, at that particular moment, she's not moving or acting like a wife should act. She's not aligned herself with what that wife should look like. It's still that we're operating. That particular woman at that particular time is operating in a selfish mode, meaning that she's still thinking about herself, self-gratifying herself, meaning I want a bigger house. I want to spend more money for myself or something of that nature. She's not thinking about my husband, the family, the children, or what have you. Because when you think about it that way, is the way we're supposed to. You're supposed to put the other person before yourself. And if my husband said to me, hey, listen, we only have $50,000. I don't need to let our bills, supersede the 50,000. I need to keep them at 40, or I need to keep them at 30, or whatever the situation may be. I don't need to stress out my husband to the point he feels as though he needs to get another job just because I wanted more stuff. So that's what I meant by that. Now, Black says, Black, how are you today, Black? He says, if a woman wants to, I saw something he said here. He says, if it's stuff she wants, she can go get a gig and pay for it. See, again, when I talk about marriage, I'm talking about a relationship between two people who are acting as one. We're trying to build together. My husband is not over here doing his own thing, and his wife, we're not over here. We're not separate in that aspect. We're putting everything together. We're operating and trying to operate as one. That's the type of relationship or marriage you would want. I understand that some people don't care for that, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm telling you what I think works. I think when when people are in marriage, they have a relationship and both parties are incorporated in all decisions. When we start separating it, then, hey, that's what you get. You get separation. It starts there. And then, that shows no discipline. That shows no structure. You would be very surprised on how things affect other people, or the things that we do, the decisions we make. We'll be very surprised on how they affect our family. We think they're not affecting anything. We think we're just doing what we want to do, but it actually affects the structure of the family in long term. Dr. Steele, let's see. What are you saying? Hey, Frenchie. SB, I just sent the full link. Start the video at 13.30. Y'all know I can't do this right now, right? Y'all know that I can't, but I will. And Dr. Steele says the Bible did not say that the husband has to do all the work and bring in all the finances. The role of the husband is to lead, provide, protect, problem solve. No, it's protect and provide. Provide not all the finances, but whatever is not for. He's not supposed to lean towards the woman. And Dr. Steele, you help me if I'm saying something incorrectly, because what I read you're saying is that he is supposed to rely on her for the necessities, and that is not correct. When I say the husband is supposed to provide, it's the necessities. He's supposed to provide the roof over the shelter, the food, the lights, and things of that nature. I definitely think a woman should work and bring all her money in to put it in one pot, but he, as a husband, should not be relying on whatever money she earns for that particular shelter. If a man is not in a position to take care of shelter or the necessities for his wife, then he at that present time would not be ready to be married. He would need to wait until he gets to a point where he can actually take care of the necessities for his home. And then she comes in as helpmate and adds to it, but not just to spend. This all needs to be for the betterment of the family, but it doesn't, in my opinion. Now, if you could tell me where stuff is included, then I would agree with you, but I can almost imagine that God wouldn't include stuff into the plan of a woman needs to work to buy stuff. When I say stuff, y'all know what I mean, right? Material things that we don't have to have, like a car that's $50,000 or a new furniture for every room or TV for every room, that type of thing. That is not something that is needed to be incorporated into the fact that whether you can take care of me as a husband. I shouldn't have to, that shouldn't be a part of a man's duty. His duty is to protect and provision, which is necessities. So if I'm saying it wrong, okay, yes, no, she definitely needs to make money, definitely needs to bring the money in the house. And if they have a plan or even a budget that is using the money, there's nothing wrong with that, because sometimes we come in with debt, which we got to be very careful, people. Y'all need to make sure y'all marrying who y'all think y'all marrying. You don't want to marry a woman or a man that has $100,000 in debt. If you do, y'all need to have a plan on getting out of debt. And I would say get out before you marry. You know, somebody needs to do something. We need to take control of our lives, because these are all things you bring into a marriage that can ruin a marriage, y'all. We're talking about finances. You going in with somebody that's got $100,000 in debt. I don't even care if it's student loan. If I got $100,000 in debt and student loan, I probably need to be making $350 a year, because that kind of, y'all think that goes together? If not, then what does? We don't need to be having $100,000 in debt and having a $50,000 a year job. Something's wrong with that. So make sure that you're very careful. Miss M said they both manages their household respectively. They do both manage. Actually, whoever manages better, who's ever better with the the organization, I think that would be the person. When I say manage, I'm talking about paying bills. I'm talking about paying bills and things of that nature. But y'all want to make sure when you are getting married, you understand. Y'all need to vet and put everything out on the table. You need to know everything that people owe coming in. You have no idea how devastating it could be to bring a lot of bills into a situation with a man or a woman and y'all trying to be one. Oh my God. Let's see, Frenchie says, what if that woman has $200,000 worth of student loan debt, but she is a doctor? If she's a doctor, then that probably means that her income is definitely superseding that $200,000. But I would, if you as a man can come up with that woman, come up with a plan with that woman and paying down that $200,000 in debt, that would be what you all need to do. And I would have that done prior to being married. You all can be on some type of plan, but I wouldn't attach myself. This is just me. I wouldn't attach myself to someone that has over $200,000 in debt coming into the marriage. That to me is a extra heartache. Now, if y'all can think about, if you could just go in real hard and come up with a plan to help her get rid of that debt in 3 years. And when I say help her, I mean a plan. I don't mean give her your money. Because remember, as single people, we're operating as adults. We want to make sure or prove to one another that we could be good mates. We could be a good husband, or we could be a good wife. That means that I'm taking care of my own bills because I created them. I'm showing you some structure. I'm showing you some discipline to get rid of this $200,000, but I'm open and telling you what happened. And then I'm gonna let you make the decision whether you want to take me on or not. But if you see that I got a $200,000 debt and I'm still out here buying red bottoms, I got me a few Louis and things like that, and I still got a $200,000 student loan debt, then there is an issue. And I think as a man, you want to see it. You need to open up your eyes and say, you know what? She's a doctor. She has the potential to make excellent money, but she's still buying red bottoms and she owed $200,000 in debt. You got to ask yourself these questions. They may be hard questions, but whew, you got to do it. You got to ask yourself a question. Because I told y'all before, y'all, if listen, anything you bring to a marriage, bring inside your relationship, and it causes an emotional, reaction or response to it. This is what causes sexless marriages. I'm not saying it's the only thing, but this is the one thing. Women do not connect with a man sexually if their emotions are not good. I'm just telling y'all, listen to what I'm saying. A woman needs to be secure and stable, and then they can connect. But when we have a lot of emotional responses to things that we're not doing right, things that are out of order in our life, we're not functioning at 100%. This is just women. It's just who we are, y'all. I know some men have told me, I don't know, some women love to have sex when they get bad news or something to that degree. I'm like, hey, okay. I can only say, okay, I'm sure it's not an absolute. But from what I've seen from ladies and in marriages, when there are problems in a marriage relationship, the sex is the first thing that goes. And it's because there's no emotional connection with their husband due to whatever reason. So what we want to do is we want to communicate all the problems. We want to be very transparent, and we want to come up with a plan with all things that need to be taken care of. That way you keep the lines of communication open, and you can always connect with your wife or your spouse, and y'all can continue to become one, because you got to have that connection in order to get through these catastrophic things that can happen within your relationship. You have to be able to do that. So just wanted to share that. Black, what you saying? You ain't saying nothing. I'm not here to anything other than provide my perspective. These men either agree or disagree. Oh, okay, Black. What you saying? You agree? So anyway, guys, listen, I've been here now an hour and 30 minutes. I appreciate you so much. But y'all listen, y'all keep my secret until I talk to you guys again. And when I speak to y'all again, which is going to be Thursday night, I hope that we can get the standard together. I will confirm my secret. But until then, y'all have a good night, and I'll see you soon. Remember, marriage is not fair.
Playing house, this ain't a home of my soul. On the road, I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul. On the road,
I can't sit still for a minute. I'm so dead set on indifference. Keep it Charlie, stay down with them Dickens. Let's get around like it's the 80s, right round, let's keep spinning. Let's keep playing these games that we don't want to finish. And I'm sorry if that sounds a bit bitter, but I am to the core. You want the whole damn thing, then you asking for more. You want that old jive swing, you take up all of the floor. I'm fine with standing at the edge of the door. You be the life of the party, I blend in with the core. You drink it all the Bacardi till the bottles no more. Let's take it back before this started. You want the love, I don't got it. Got my soul on the road. You screaming stay, please don't go. Don't think it's in me to listen to flow. It's so different with distance, we roam into zones where nothing get hurt anymore. I just wish I was home when I stepped through front door, but instead I'm alone and completely unsure. And even though you're screaming out with the best of intentions, I don't get it. Why do you always gotta ask me to stay?
why you always gotta go? Playing house, this ain't a home with your soul. On the road, say, why you always gotta go? Playing house, this ain't a home with your soul. On the road.
See, I've been lost in my thoughts, and my thoughts they too scared to usher off. Sorry, Mom, I just thought you were my world. Now you're not. And I'm just sitting, smoking, sloping in a daze, cause my days ain't been the same since I drove here away. I remember the way you wrote letters in blue ink. you and me was in love. Think about what your crew think. I know your moms probably think I'm a bastard. Your pops probably want to beat my death and take a in my casket. But I got sick of fighting, bickering, fussing over nothing, cussing. Instead of watching the death of discussions that we once had, days that we once spent in the backseat of our cars, reading poets at sunset. It's funny how love can fall out the foreground, get pushed into the back of your mind. We used to twist a spliff and laugh and relax. Now you crying, and I'm trying to find the reasons. So I ask, does forever ever happen, or is it always fade to black?
I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul on the road. I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul on the road.